Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm going to go ahead and start building this F-8E Crusader. And first thing I need to do is, of course, start with the cockpit, but I need to sand off the raised parts on the control panels on the sides, and also the instrument panel as well. It even indicates to do that because there are decals for those. So go ahead and take those off and start building this. So I'm going to let all these parts dry, and then I'm going to hit it with some black, flat black, and then to act as a shadow coat, and also the sides of the ejector seat are all black, and the seat calls for khaki, and I'm just going to hand paint that because it's just really small. So I'm not going to worry too much about what you're going to be able to really see. Okay guys, here's where I'm at. So I've assembled the cockpit, I got it all painted, and I didn't have the camera on when I was painting, but let's see. The interior colors is for U.S. fighters is FS 36231, which is dark gull gray, and this is model colors version of it. It's FS 36231, but it's marked dark sea gray. I did airbrush this. You just got to thin it down, and it airbrushes okay. And you can see I got the cockpit done. There's not a lot to it. In fact, you can certainly get a Eduard aftermarket set and dress it up a little bit, but it's really tiny. There's decals for the instruments. they look okay. They don't look all that great, so it's not a lot of color. So, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it because it's so little. It's gonna be really hard to see in there. I thought about making, scratch building some seat belts, but they'd be tiny. But I could still do that, or actually I have a little pilot that I might put in from another kit, but I'll see. Anyway, that's that. Now that's gonna go in there. I did do some dry brushing with metallic gray and added a dark wash to it. Okay. So I got that done. I also assembled the air intake scoop. Okay, right there. There it is, right there. It has a front wheel well. Okay. And then I assembled the main landing gear wheel well as well. And it's right here. You can see that. One thing I wish I would have done, or not done yet, is added these two parts right here. I think they're the gear door actuators. I just don't like those little things sticking out like that when I still got a long ways to go. So you can certainly add those in later on. So here they are right there. And yeah, so I'll try not to break them off. Let's hope not. Then I moved on here. Well, actually, we're ready to join the fuselage halves. Okay, so I got to put all these things inside in the fuselage halves and then glue them all up. So let's take a look here. I did do some test fitting. The fuselage halves seem to go together really well. I went through and made sure there weren't any areas that just needed a little bit of smoothing, and just with a sander, just kind of go along and run your finger across. If you feel a area where it's not very smooth, just take your sander and smooth it off. So there's an area that I missed right there. So just want a good join. Okay. And okay, this part here that goes on top of the fuselage, where the wing sits on top of it, that calls for zinc chromate or interior green. I'm not gonna paint that until later. I'm not gonna paint it off before I put it in. So I'll just keep that out. This is A3. This is the air brake housing, and again, all the stuff underneath is going to be white, and so I'm not painting any of it right now because I'm just going to paint it all at once underneath, and then I can weather it up and everything. So okay. Another thing to show you guys if you're going to build this kit is where'd it go? No, it's still in there. The Arrestor hook housing, and the instructions instruct you to put the hook in. It also has a decal for the hook, and so I am not going to put that in yet because again, I want to paint this and add some wash to it, and I don't have to worry about masking it off so I don't get the decal. So I'm going to keep that separate, paint it, and then put it on one of the very last things I do. So again, there is a decal that goes on the Arrestor hook. All right. Okay. So let's put this bad boy together. I'll just put him back in here. Some of these things, they fit really well. I'm going to use a combination of Tamiya Extra Thin and Model Master glue. This is a slower setting glue. I like it for I don't know. I think it's strong, very strong, and I like it for fuselage halves especially. And also, it gives you a little bit of time to move things around if you have to. So, okay, so Model Masters. So I'm just going to install these parts, And as you can see a little bit on camera here what I'm doing. And the locating pins and everything in this kit so far, it's going together really well. So next thing I'm going to put in is the landing gear housing, the main landing gear. And you can tell the diagrams are very easy to follow. Okay. Put this over here. Maybe you can see it. A lot of these I'm going to go ahead and just insert and kind of test fit them, get them in place where I want them, and then start gluing. So the main landing gear fits right in here. It's a pretty snug fit. Let's see. There. Okay, and I just need to position it. You can see there's no gap there. Alright, no gap. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and just use some, probably just go ahead and use some extra thin back there. That run in. Okay. I think I'll do the same thing with this. Let that run down there. So these are looking like they go in pretty well. So, okay, then we have the. This is the air brake housing. So. You can see it even gives in the instructions, it gives a tells you exactly the way to position it. So make sure that the goes like that. So this is the front of the aircraft, so put that in, and it just sits right up in here. Oops. Just like that. This one I'm going to run some of this cement in there. You got to make sure you don't get a clog. There we go. Right in there. Make sure I got it lined up correctly. So again, okay, so this is the goes in this way. And it just kind of sits in there like so. There you go. And again, I'll be able to, when I put the other fuselage I have on there, I'll be able to manipulate it if I need to. Okay, here is the cockpit. Yeah, I've already test fitted this, but just to show you guys, it does kind of go in there. There's a locator slot right there where the front of the cockpit goes in. If you can see that. Right here, and the rest of it just fits snugly in this area. Just like that. Okay, that was a little bit trickier than what I wanted, but I finally got it to go together pretty well. And just had to manipulate some pieces. So maybe I might even change my thinking on a kit like this where you got a bunch of stuff you got to put together inside the fuselage halves. It might be best just to do it dry and then run your extra thin down through the seams. So I ended up having to take it apart a couple times and move some things. So yeah, anyway, but otherwise I think I got it together really well. It looks good. There's no gaps to speak of. I'm gonna just let this sucker dry for quite a while and get going. Just add the rear stabs, the vertical fin or ventral fins, all that stuff, all the other stuff that need to go on it, and then I'll be ready to primer and get some paint on it. Okay guys, thanks a lot. Take care.